This is how to get mega influencer reach from Nano and Micro-Influencers. All right, so the goal today is to talk about how you can get the reach of working with a mega influencer when you partner with Nano and Micro-Influencers, and how you mitigate their audience size. In other words, their audience size doesn't matter because you're actually going to be controlling the reach of the content. And today we're going to take a look at a brand that most of you are probably familiar with, Allbirds. Now, several years ago, Allbirds made some waves in the marketing world, revolutionizing a tactic. And this is the tactic that we're going to talk about today, which is how you can get mega influencer reach by partnering with micro and nano influencers. So what Allbirds did was, well before they became the sneaker sensation in the eco-friendly sustainable goods space that they are today, they started out by blanketing the internet with content like this. The internet is obsessed with Allbirds sneakers. Are they worth it? Mind you, this type of content came out and has been updated regularly well before the internet even knew who Allbirds sneakers was. So what they were doing is they were blanketing the internet with reviews called advertorials that are very op-ed. So in other words, opinion-based. So if you could picture, another headline might be Allbirds sneaker review. Well, if you think about that, how that would perform in ads, on social media, in Google search results, unless you're specifically searching for Allbirds sneaker review, that isn't going to mean anything to you. So for the people that are not familiar with your brand and have no clue who you are and would not otherwise click on a piece of content called Allbirds sneaker review, you need something stronger. And what's actually happening here is a technique called pre-staging. Pre-staging is where you set the mindset of the consumer before they consume the content that you're about to deliver to them. In this case, this is an advertorial style review on a blog over at reviewed.com. Now you can kind of see, if you were going to click on this, the internet is obsessed with, so that's fear of missing out, right? FOMO. So if you don't know who Allbirds is, you would wonder who they are, right? And then after that, are they worth it? So in this case, as you can imagine, this is an absolutely glowing recommendation and a very in-depth review with great content, driving traffic back to Allbirds. And the way it's framed is as an unbiased third-party review. Are they worth it? So in this case here, although they do use the affiliate commission tag, it's still an advertorial. So they are an affiliate for Allbirds, just as the content creators would be affiliates for Amazon, for example. So we have the pre-staging with the fear of missing out, and then are they worth it, the unbiased third-party review. And then from there, what happens next is you, as a consumer, are pre-staged to believe that this is unbiased third-party, and through the pre-staging, you have significantly increased the perceived value of your product to the consumer who's going to read it. So the beauty of this is this: you don't have to partner with a mega review site like reviewed.com, or even back then when they partnered with them, they were not what they are today. You can partner with any nano micro influencer because their audience size doesn't matter. And here's why it doesn't matter, is because after you have a few pieces of content like this that are just glowing reviews, advertorial style headlines, not your brand product review, it would need to be advertorial style bombastic headlines like this $30 kitchen gadget changed my life, advertorial headlines like that. What you do next is this: you let the Amazon influencer know that you're going to be driving traffic to their site. So in exchange for perhaps free product to give away, and then driving traffic to their site through native advertising, that's how you would strike up a partnership with the Amazon influencer. If you're not familiar with native advertising works like this. So here's a popular app on people's phones called Flipboard. If you're not familiar with it, it's similar to Apple News, Google News, that sort of thing. So what you're going to see here is I'm going to press play on my phone. You can see here the different types of content. These are news aggregators, right? And content aggregators. You type in your interests, and then it aggregates content from around the web into one simple place so you can read it like a magazine. So I'm going to hit play, and you'll see I flip, hence the flipboard. But I'd like to call your attention to the bottom of the screen. So here's an ad pointing back to Reviewed.com. But notice Reviewed.com is not running that ad. At the bottom of your screen, you can see here, Allbirds Sponsored. And the reason why it's called native is because the piece of content, in this case blog posts, are meant to be shifted around and look native to the platform that it's on. In this case, Flipboard. But you will most likely have noticed these ads everywhere you go online. So for example, we'll pull up Yahoo Sports. We'll scroll down. You can see here, here's a blog post. JJ Watt celebrates son in surprising retirement. That's a blog post. But notice in between it, people can't believe he is 60. Here's his secret. Another advertorial. And you can see the little ad designation there. So hence native advertising. It takes the piece of content and shape shifts it around to look like it's native no matter where you're viewing it. It looks like just another piece of content. It looks like it belongs there. So now you can kind of walk this through and see, and imagine if you were selling a sports related product or something to the type of buyer persona that reads Yahoo Sports, you could have your product review featured on Yahoo Sports or Good Housekeeping or Bob Vila or any mega publication, mega influencer that your buyer persona would be interested in. Now, if you haven't done native advertising before, here's how you do it. Use any one of the most popular native advertising platforms. Taboola is a very popular one. Outbrain. Rev Content. Criteo. And finally, Propeller Ads are some of the more popular ones. And it's as simple as selecting your content, selecting your targeting to make sure that your content is seen by the audience that is your buyer persona, loading in the content, setting up the ads, and you're off to the races. You're driving traffic. You'll watch me click here and go back to the piece of content, your advertorial, instead of your own website or instead of your own Amazon listing, because the consumer is taken from all the way from unaware to aware to product aware to brand aware to brand product fit, all in one simple piece of content. And then they're off to buy after that. And if you need help finding Amazon influencers, these macro and micro nano influencers, Referazon has an Amazon influencer search engine and CRM to make finding Amazon influencers and managing relationships easy. Check us out at referazon.com.